Hello my tiny babies! Welcome back to my channel. I am Intan Sahira. This video will be divided into two parts. For those who don't have your VEDIC birth chart, you can click on my description box below. I've provided a link to calculate your VEDIC birth chart. Now, for those who don't know how to find your Nakshatra for each houses, I got you baby. Let's learn together. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Swati Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could have a good communication skill, very good at communicating with people, and they could achieve anything that they set their mind to. They're very wise. They are the type who is full of wisdom, very hardworking, and they do things their own way. They love freedom. They love routine-based job, and they sometimes can easily feel out of place, feel restless and all that. You guys have to check on the sign of Libra because Libra rules Swati Nakshatra, and also check on the sign of Rahu. And I want you guys to check on the planet aspects and conjunctions and all that, because even the slightest aspect from other planets could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Vishakha Nakshatra, then this shows that your spouse could be someone who can't tolerate injustice. And your spouse could be born as a Libra, or could be born as a Libra ascendant or something like that, and they are willing to do anything to achieve success. They are full of determination, will not follow the norms. They are not normal at all. It's not that they're not normal, it's just that they don't want to follow the norms, and they could be insensitive sometimes. They could have lack emotions, lack of sympathy. But you guys fall in love with this man anyway. And you guys have to check on the sign of Libra and Scorpio because it rules Vishakha Nakshatra, and also check on the sign of Jupiter. And I want you guys to check on your planet aspects and conjunctions and all that, because the slightest aspect from other planets could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Anuradha Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could be someone who have a positive vibe, very loving, very nurturing, very affectionate, very caring, and they will go out of their way to help people. Okay, I personally think that this could be a good thing and also a bad thing. For those of you guys who have an extreme jealousy, if someone will go out of their way to help people, your partner will go out of their way to help people. Your spouse could be someone who is very calm, very systematic. Sometimes they could be bossy. So you guys have to look at the sign of Scorpio, because Scorpio rules Anuradha Nakshatra, and also look at the sign of Saturn as well. And don't forget to look at the planet aspects and all that, because a little aspect from other planets could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Jyeshta Nakshatra, this is a nakshatra that is very mysterious, very private. So your spouse could have a mysterious vibe, the private vibe, you know. They respect their own privacy, and they could have a sharp mind. They could have a sharp intellectual. They love to uncover the truth. So you don't even dare to lie, because they will try to find out and they will drive you insane. And they don't like to socialize. They have a trust issue. Like I said, don't even try to lie. They have a fear of abandonment. So maybe if you guys lie to them, they will kidnap you. No, I'm just kidding. They have a superior behavior. Of course, Jyeshta Nakshatra is ruled by Scorpio. You have to check on the Scorpio signs and your Mercury sign in your birth chart, okay? And you also have to check on the planet aspects, because even the slightest aspect from other planets could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Mula Nakshatra, then it shows that your spouse could be someone who is passionate, seeking for the truth, unpredictable, high moral values, sometimes cruel and arrogant, downgrading others. But you have to look at the sign of Sagittarius, because Sagittarius rules Mula Nakshatra. You have to find where Sagittarius is placed in your birth chart. What is your planet aspects and all that. You have to look at K2 as well. You have to look at planet aspects because it is very important. It is very crucial, because even the slightest aspect from other planet could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house is ruled by Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could be someone who is independent, naturally an influencer, and they could be someone who is fearless, highly intuitive. Maybe they follow their intuition a lot. They have a strong willpower. I love people who follow their intuition, but sometimes that could drive the wrong way. They could be in denial of their existence. I don't know why, but I don't know why. You have to figure that out. And you have to check on the sign of Sagittarius, because Sagittarius rules Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, and you have to look at the placement of Venus in your birth chart as well. And don't forget to focus on the planet aspects and all that, because even the slightest aspect from the planets could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house is in your birth chart is ruled by Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could be someone who is positively aggressive, okay? And they could have a strong willpower to achieve success. They could be someone who have leadership qualities. They could be someone who is responsible and compassionate. They could have Sagittarius personality and Jupiter aspects. You have to look at the Sagittarius sign in your birth chart, because it rules Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, and you have to look at Capricorn and Sun as well. You have to focus on the planet aspects as well, because the slightest aspect from other planets could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house in your birth chart is ruled by Shravana Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could be someone who is adorable, maybe with cute face, baby face, energetic, which is like contrast with their adorable face, hyperactive, physically and mentally active, charming, brings good mood to their surroundings, live a challenging life, maybe, ups and downs in their life, can't live a life gracefully. Okay, maybe they have less gratitude in life. It's like they rarely feel grateful in their life. So that's, if you have this man in your life or women, you have to give an advice to them, because being grateful is very important for us to survive. If we don't feel grateful for what we have, then we will never feel enough, Okay, by the way, you have to look at the sign of Capricorn and Moon. And also, don't forget to check on the planet aspects, because even the slightest aspect from the planet could change the whole thing. Okay? Now, if your 7th house in your birth chart is ruled by Dhanishta Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could be someone who is kind-hearted, respected, sharp, with a sharp mind, highly intellectual, but because he has a sharp mind, so he or she could hold grudges for a long time. You have to look at the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius and also Mars. And you have to check on the planet aspects, because the slightest planet aspects could change the whole thing, okay? Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Shatabisha Nakshatra, then this shows that your spouse is someone who is very strong, self-understanding. Okay, he could be a little bit selfish, but maybe that's not the case. They are confident, quite egoistical, self-centered, like I said, selfish. And you guys have to look at the sign of Aquarius and also Rahu. And don't forget to check on the planet aspects, because even the slightest aspect from another planet could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, then it shows that your spouse is someone who is open-minded, thirsty of knowledge, love to share their knowledge with family and friends, especially if they have, Jupiter placement, Jupiter effects. They are very wise. Even if they're still young, they are very wise. They are down to earth, full of opinion, and a bit judgmental sometimes, because they have a lot of knowledge, People with a lot of knowledge, kinda judgmental on someone else's knowledge, sometimes. You have to look at the sign of Aquarius, Pisces, and Jupiter. And also don't forget to check on the planet aspects, because the aspects from other planet, even the slightest aspect from other planet, could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse could be someone with high wisdom, intellectual, respectable. He or she loves to volunteers a lot, with high spiritual, attractive personality, gets unnecessary anger sometimes, and impulsive. I don't know why, but this reminds me of presidents or, the ministers and all that, the political people, So you have to look at the sign of Pisces and Saturn, and don't forget to check on the planet aspects, because the slightest aspect from the planet could change the whole thing. Now, if your 7th house of your birth chart is ruled by Revati Nakshatra, this shows that your spouse is someone who is courageous, very good at controlling their emotions, which is good, highly intellectual, relying on their intuition. I think this is half good and half not. Lead a spiritual life, logical thinker, and sometimes indecisive. You have to look at the sign of Pisces and Mercury. And don't forget to check on the planet aspects, because even the slightest aspects from other planet could change the whole thing. That's it for you guys. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for the 2K subscribers. I love you guys so much. If you love this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, like and comment. I will always be here for you guys. We will always share knowledge together. And ta-ta!